protect your peace. So there is a peace of mind that you have when you know that you are locked in, that you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, that you are confident in yourself and in your abilities, and you are being appreciated by the people who employ you, the people who hired you, who you work with. Your value is clear. You have that sense of peace when you are confident in yourself. But then there are times when we don't feel so confident, when we get into feeling insecure about whether or not we're really delivering the value that we have been hired to deliver. Or like, am I serving my people? Am I really hitting the mark? Or am I going to get left behind because of all these new young people coming up, but because of all these new gadgets and innovations in marketing and sales technology and all these new things? Do I have to go back to school? Am I ever going to be enough? Protecting your peace, knowing that you are enough, is what we are talking about today. As we say in Reiki, Kyo Dake Wa, just for today. Protect your peace of mind. What are the things that give you confidence, give you the ability to stand tall and rest in knowing that you are on track? That is what we are talking about today. In particular, this is another installment of your Business Energy Flow Forecast. I'm Sensei Victoria Whitfield, coming to you from my beautiful mansion space in the Sleepy Hollow section of Union County, New Jersey. Would love to see you for when you come in person or when you join us on Skool App. So let's get to it. These Business Energy Flow forecasts are meant for you to listen at the beginning of the day each day, to set your mind right, to cast your mindset so that you have cast your net of manifestation over the day. You have set the track and you're going to stay on it for positivity, for getting what you want, for manifesting your goals and desires. Set your mind right, cast the energy and your focus for the day ahead. That's what this is about. And how we're going to go about it, making sure that you stay on track, is we're going to have a story from history. We're going to have statistics and science, as well as we're going to hear from spirit and have an action step for you to get on with it, staying on track, particularly today, protecting your peace. And my spirit guides are saying that the main dilemma that we as conscious entrepreneurs looking to make positive impact in our communities and industries, today in particular, we want to be sensitive to the problem of not protecting our peace of mind. That peace of, I am confident that I know what I know and that I am good at what I do. That the product has value. The product has been proven, right? The trial has finished and we are in delivery and deployment. That we have this product, we have proof of concept, that you have peace knowing that you have proof of concept in you being the product. I'm not talking about, like, let's say this hat, which is, available in my merch store, or the cap, right, as opposed to the trucker hat version of it. Those products have proof of concept. Yeah, absolutely. They are items. I'm talking about you being confident in you to deliver on what you've promised, what you've sold people into, what you've been hired to do, right? You having your own proof of concept to make the vision your reality, right? the courage to deal with what is, knowing that you have peace inside of yourself, peace in the midst of the storm. Let's get into this. So what stories do we have from history that we can kind of hold around us? We're doing a book study, continuing with Think and Grow Rich from chapter 11, the chapter on sex transmutation for protecting your peace. Let's take a look at what Napoleon Hill has for us today. Where hunches come from, right? The download, the hit, the intuitive hunch. When ideas or concepts flash into one's mind through what is popularly called a hunch, they come from one or more of the following sources: infinite intelligence, one's subconscious mind, wherein is stored every sense, impression, and thought impulse that ever reached the brain through any of the five senses, from the mind of some other person who has just released the thought or picture of the idea or concept through conscious thought, and then from the other person's subconscious storehouse, like picking up on it. There are no other known sources from which inspired ideas or hunches may be received. When the brain action has been stimulated through one or more of the 10 mind stimulants in chapter 11, it has the effect of lifting the individual far above the horizon of ordinary thought and permits him to envision distance, scope, and quality of thoughts not available on the lower plane, such as that occupied while one is engaged in the solution of the problems of business and professional routine. When lifted to this higher level of thought through any form of mind stimulation, an individual occupies relatively the same position as one who has ascended in an airplane to a height from which he may see over and beyond the horizon line that limits his vision while on the ground. Moreover, while on this higher level of thought, the individual is not hampered or bound by any of the stimuli that circumscribe and limit his vision while wrestling with the problems of gaining the three basic necessities of food, clothing, and shelter. He is in a world of thought in which the ordinary workaday thoughts have been as effectively removed as are the hills and valleys and other limitations of physical vision when he rises in an airplane. While on this exalted plane of thought, the creative faculty of the mind is given freedom for action. The way has been cleared for the sixth sense to function. It becomes receptive to ideas that could not reach the individual under any other circumstances. The sixth sense is the faculty that marks a difference between a genius and an ordinary individual. Peace of mind. Connecting this to peace of mind. Seeing the bigger picture. As Napoleon Hill said, stepping out of trying to figure things out on this ordinary workday plane, right? Trying to figure it out and having that ability to step back and tune in to more than just your five senses of sight, sound, taste, touch, smell. Is there a version of you? Is there an access to a level of wisdom in you that supersedes what's happening here on the ordinary plane? Because this is what we call circumstances. Circumstances can stress you the out, right? Circumstances can make you feel small and driven by details. But just like when you fly, you take off in an airplane. I took a plane ride to Miami recently for a networking conference. And when you take off, you can only see the runway, the circumstances around the plane, maybe for about 500 feet or so, not very far. But when the plane flies up to 1,000, 10,000, 30,000 feet, you are able to see for miles instead of just feet, right? You're able to see for kilometers instead of just meters around you. Your perspective shifts and is widened. And that's why when you're flying on the airplane and looking down on the earth, it's so beautiful. I don't know about you, but when the plane takes off, it puts me to sleep. I'm just like the G-force and just, and the beauty of the clouds. It's like a dream being in the sky. And so what we're getting from Napoleon Hill in these words right here, right? This story from history, his research is to show that in order to protect your peace, you must shift your perspective. Where your attention goes, your energy flows. In our last installment of this conversation, we talked about how we are in the age of attention, not the information age anymore, and how there are multi-billion-dollar companies and organizations vying for your attention right now. That's the name of the game, is Made You Look. But are you a player in that game of making yourself look at what you're supposed to be focused on, your visionary? Are you aware of your goal? Have you forgotten? Are you highly susceptible to forgetting that you have your own healing agenda to enact in the industry and in your community? Have you forgotten? Right? So that's what history has to say. That's the story. Let's get some statistics and some science behind that. Tapping back into the conversation with AI. Today in particular, we're taking an article from Harvard Business Review by Dr. Siegel. The AI hype cycle is distracting companies. Harvard Business Review is saying, the hype about AI especially is distracting us, distracting you from doing what you're supposed to. Let's check this out. You might think that news about major artificial intelligence breakthroughs would do nothing but help machine learning's adoption. If only. Even before the latest splashes, most notably OpenAI and ChatGPT and other generative AI tools, the rich narrative about emerging all-powerful AI is already a growing problem before applied machine learning. That's because for most machine learning projects, the buzzword AI goes too far. It overly inflates expectations and distracts from the precise way machine learning will improve business operations. It's understandable that so many would want to claim a piece of the AI pie if it's made up of the same ingredients as artificial generalized intelligence. The wish fulfillment AGI promises a kind of ultimate power, right? The all-knowing thing is so seductive that it's nearly irresistible. But there's a better way forward, one that's realistic, and that I, the writer, would argue is already exciting enough. Running major operations, the main thing we do as organizations, right? Stepping back, running our major operations, the main things we do as organizations more effectively. Most commercial machine learning projects aim to do just that. For them to succeed at higher rates, we've got to come down to earth. I'm going to reread that sentence. For them to succeed at a higher rate, we've got to come down to earth. What? If your aim is to deliver operational value, don't buy AI and don't sell AI. Say what you mean and mean what you say. If a technology consists of machine learning, just call it that. Reports of the human mind's looming obsolescence have been greatly exaggerated, which means another era of AI disillusionment is at hand. And in the long run, we will continue to experience AI winters so long as we continue to hyperbolically apply the term AI to stuff. But if we tone down the AI rhetoric or otherwise differentiate machine learning from artificial intelligence, we will properly insulate machine learning as an industry from the next AI winter. And AI winter is like just things cool down and there's nothing going on, no innovation. This includes resisting the temptation to ride hype waves and refrain from passively affirming starry-eyed decision makers who appear to be bowing at the altar of an all-capable AI has come. AI is so important. We are stupid. Otherwise, the danger is clear and present. When the hype fades, the overselling is debunked and the winter arrives. Much of machine learning's true value proposition will be unnecessarily disposed of along with the myths, like the baby with the bathwater, tying this back into protecting your peace. There's a problem with getting caught up in the hype. It is trendy to think that you are stupid. It is trending to think that you are not enough. It is trendy and trending to think that people and humanity and your intelligence is about to be extinct or obsolete or old school. It is trendy and popular and profitable for other people, not you. It's profitable for others for you to think less of yourself. And in this article, Dr. Siegel says, in order for us to rise, we actually got to come down to earth. And so this is an interesting counterbalance to what Napoleon Hill is saying, right? And Napoleon Hill is saying, we got to step back and see the bigger picture, right? Stop sweating the details. The details are what are stealing your peace. And at the same time, in order for us, like Dr. Siegel is saying here, in Harvard Business Review, I believe, at the same time, when you step back and see the bigger picture, stop sweating the details. If you really want to get traction, do what you say you're gonna do. Stop messing around with anything else. Keep your word. Come down to earth. Be focused, right? Get traction and move your needle forward. Put your head down and do your thing. Stop looking around at, everybody else is talking about all this stuff is more important than what I'm doing here, and I must be a piece of crap, and I got to make sure that I keep up with the Joneses and everybody else is saying, and I got to, don't let yourself be distracted. And this is where I'm hearing Spirit coming in to join the conversation to protect your peace. Because you are awesome, by the way. You got to step back and see the greater picture because you're awesome. And look back over the entire history of awesomeness that you have enacted. And at the same time, you need to step in, get your hands on the wheel, and be awesome. Stop messing around and being confused and putting off doing your work. You need to be in the trenches doing your awesome work. You need to come down to earth. Get up off of TikTok. Get up off of Facebook or LinkedIn or whatever's stealing your spirit, right? Come in here and do your awesome work. Protect your peace by seeing the bigger picture, remembering you're awesome, as well as get in there and making the transformation happen that only you are excellent at doing. Do your thing. Get in there and do your thing. Don't worry about how other people are doing theirs. But all right, hold on. So the angel tarot card of the week is the Hermit. For today, Archangel Raziel coming as a challenger, number 9. Completion, conclusion, major arcana. So this also has to do with how we interact with others. It's not just about you yourself. So this is the challenge, the Hermit. This card signals that you'd benefit from spending time alone, listening to your inner voice you've been resisting. Meditation is essential, as the path to enlightenment is an inner journey. Be silent and experience the joy that comes from seeking the truth of your own heart. Learn to feel comfortable in your own company. This is what we are resisting. This is the challenge. After all, there's a difference between being alone and being lonely. This card also signifies spiritual teaching, so it can mean that you have wisdom to impart to others, or that perhaps it's time for you to find a spiritual teacher, right? Sharing wisdom is part of your spiritual journey, especially now. Additional meanings of this card: good advice, finding or becoming a mentor, self-discovery, reevaluation of plans, going on a spiritual quest. Archangel Raziel offers sage advice to spiritual seekers, including guidance about esoteric concepts, interpretation of your sleeping dreams and past life memories. Call upon Raziel to help you find the richness that comes from meditation and spending time alone in contemplation. So the message that we're getting from Spirit, right? The Hermit is, you're resisting going within and seeing your own value. That is what's stealing your peace. The peace that you know you're on the right track comes from within. It comes from your relationship with the Holy Spirit. It comes from your inner work. And if you are too busy and too distracted, this card is saying, go get you a mentor, or stop resisting the fact that you need to delegate your meditation and spiritual reflection practice. That's why I created our community on Skool App, right? My people know that 2 times per week, they're going to have facilitated meditations that cause them to go in and get that sense of peace and confidence, knowing that they're headed on the right track. They get their meditations for the month of what to do every day. They get to interact with others who are connecting and going within in business to help them navigate their company's decisions, right? As an entrepreneur. They get courses that help guide them through and walk them through, as well as access to me. Like that, it's okay to delegate someone facilitating and fueling your meditation and spiritual practice, because that fuels your peace. That is an SOP, a standard operating procedure, right? A system that is built in protecting your peace. Today, I'm here to remind you to protect your peace, and whether you're working with us or whoever, but you need to have a standard operating procedure for protecting your peace and feeding your sense of peace and confidence, knowing that you're awesome and headed on the right path, that you've got your vision locked and loaded, so that you've readied an aim. When you fire, you're going to hit the mark. You're not going to lose it. Be kind to yourself if that's the situation. And shout out to you, by the way, if you have joined us on Skool. Welcome, welcome. Your action step for today, again, as you watch this every day and then you're going to go into your meditation, is to go into the vault of visualizations, all the hundreds of visualization meditations for entrepreneurs I've recorded over the last 14 years. The one that my spirit guides chose for you to do today is Door to the Future vision journey. It's about 15 minutes long. It's in the Mindset Shift Meditations folder in your vault of visualizations. So wait a minute. Oh, no, that's next week. Hold on. That's next week. This week we're doing healing how you think, which makes more sense for the talk that we're talking about peace. Healing how you think meditation. That's about 18 minutes, and you'll find that in the Love and Protection Meditations folder. If you're with us on school, you have like the meditations for the month PDF already, so you know how to find this. But for those of you who are following along on YouTube, Healing How You Think meditation in the Love and Protection Meditations folder. When you do that visualization, you want to connect in with your inner spirit and make sure that you are thinking in a way that protects your peace rather than sabotages and destroys it. As we said, there are systems and companies and groups now that are profiting on stealing your peace. You've got to be the one who takes a stand for you. And if you need support, just let me know, right? Comment below, send me a DM, Sensei Victoria Whitfield. You can find me on all the things, hashtag all the things. I'm here to support you. Sending you so much love. Remember, you do not have to lose your glow as you grow in life and business. Mwah. See you next week.